Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm Grace on Tour and I love to showcase the beautiful world that we live in. And in this video, I will be bringing you along to country number 98, soon approaching 100, which is Mongolia. But before we head out there, remember to like this video and subscribe. But for now, let's head to Mongolia. After a 4-hour flight, we have now made it to Mongolia. I think I had the cutest airport pickup I've ever had. So it was an older couple that picked me up in their own personal car. Now we have made it to Ulaanbaatar, which is the capital city of Mongolia. And I'm staying at a hotel called Hotel 9, and it's just on the main square. And Mongolia has around 3 million inhabitants, where 50% of those people live in the capital here. 30% of the population live a nomadic lifestyle. And I just wanted to mention one observation that I spotted when we were driving here is that it seems like there's a lot of Korean influences because there were loads of Korean convenience stores and restaurants and karaoke bars. So yeah, that was interesting to see. And the city is much more modern than I expected it to be. Now, after a few hours of sleep and breakfast, I'm now packed up and ready to meet up with the driver and the guide for the upcoming week. And yeah, we will be heading away and out of civilization, I believe, to remote parts of Mongolia. So really excited, and let's go. We have now made it to a monastery in the city, which is called Gandamtengching Monastery, and I will put the name here because Mongolian is very hard. It's really funny because we have been hearing people talk and it feels like a mix of Russian and Finnish to me, and it's very different from any language I've ever heard. We have just stocked up at a local supermarket here. You can see the name up here. Yes, we have stocked up on some goods here for the week, because this is the last stop before civilization ends, so to say. We haven't had our last toilet break and our last shop stop, so we've stocked up. And apparently as well, Mongolia is a very meat heavy country, so not a lot of vegetarian options, so we've also stocked up on some food just in case there's no vegetarian options available, so we are prepared. And yeah, now it's time to hit the road. We have now driven out of UB, which they call it, Ulaanbaatar, and yeah, just when you kind of go up the hill and over the hill, you then come to this open, beautiful landscape, and the scenery has totally shifted and changed from the city. Already spotted the yurts or gears, which are the traditional homes, which are these round tents, round white tents. And yes, we've seen lots of animals. So here they herd a lot of sheep, horses, cows, and all of that, and they just roam around freely, and yeah, it's so quiet and peaceful. Okay, so we have now come to a roadside restaurant, and yes, as I mentioned before, it is heavily meat-based here, but we have got some rice, some kimchi, and some egg salad. So yes, let's dig in. So we have now stopped off by the side of the road and we have made it to a ancient ruin from before Genghis Khan period, and it's actually pretty well maintained. As you can see, not a person or sound or noise inside. Yeah, also another fun fact is that Mongolia is the most sparsely populated country in the world, or sparsely populated sovereign nation in the world. Have just arrived to our gear camp for the night, and yes, here they have loads of horses, and actually this family just moved here to this spot yesterday, so they haven't even built up the restroom yet, but they said that that one will be finished soon. It's really nice, and essentially we've got our own yurt to stay in. And this one is the main one where the kitchen is and where the family is staying. And then I will give you a little house tour, room tour of my little home for the night. Okay, we are now inside the yurt or gear, and yeah, this is the traditional home of Mongolia. And in our little translation book here, we can see the gear and what it usually consists of, and the translation. Essentially, it is a round house with beds all along the side, and in the middle we have a stove to heat up if it gets cold at night. I'm guessing that this is horse dung to put in the together with the wood in the stove. We have a little trash can here, and as you can see, I cannot stand up right here. And then we have actually a little sink, so that's really, really nice, and some soap. We also have a mirror, and then we have a bed here, and yes, this is the yurt. And actually I'm surprised because there's a lot of interior and textile, so there's mats on the floor, there's like other textiles on the walls. And yes, now they've also, because it's quite hot today, so they have opened up the top, so we have some wind coming in. I also have a clock here on the wall, and yes, I think this is a battery hanging from the wall. As I was saying before, they were currently building the toilet while we arrived, and if you are interested in what it looks like when you stay here, then I will just show you. So essentially they have built this little tent, and yes, if you just put it up here, you put a chair and 2 planks, and then dug a hole, and then you just drag it down.
When we were younger, we used to sit on the grass among the flowers. We just let the days pass by. People would tell us to get a grip of ourselves and get a job. We didn't care what we were told, 'cause when we were younger, we used to sit on the grass and go, damn, I don't wanna grow old. I wish I could turn back time. Stay up all night singing songs on the terrace. We didn't mind sitting out in the cold. It was impossible to make us embarrassed. We were free. Do you remember stealing smokes from your parents? Sometimes we got a bit out of control. When they found out we ran from away with the jag.
So now we have come back from the horseback riding, and it was really fun to go riding. I haven't done that since I was a kid, so it was really fun and nice to explore the landscapes and the nearby kind of desert landscape over there with the horses. And yes, now we have just sat down and played some card games for a while the food has been cooking, and we could also spot when they were kind of training to catch the horses, and we've also seen them making the food in the yurt. And now it is dinner time, and as you can see as well behind me, the sun is starting to set, but it's summertime, so it sets quite late, I think at 8:30. And yeah, now it's time to dig in to some dinner and then yeah, head to bed. We have woken up to another beautiful day out here in the Mongolian countryside, and yeah, it's been really nice to stay with this local nomadic family and get an insight into their everyday life here. And this morning we just had some breakfast, the fried naan bread, which is another traditional bread of Mongolia, with some coffee. And yes, now we are just waiting to get our picnic lunch before heading out on the road. And today we are heading out even in more remoter parts of Mongolia, and we're going to be visiting a hot spring and a lake and some other things today. So yes, looking forward to another great day. We have now been driving for a few hours and we have made it to the Uji Lake. And on our way, we actually saw a huge vulture, and I'm really bummed that I wasn't able to capture it. We've been driving through amazing landscape and nature, and it's just really nice being observer of this beautiful nature while we're driving and really taking it all in. And yes, actually, the smell here really reminds me of Sweden because, yeah, as you know, Sweden has a lot of lakes, so the lake smell really makes me feel at home.
Maybe I never knew what I really wanted, but looking back I can see it's all clear. I'm still a kid trying to act like they all taught me, but nothing makes sense anymore.
We actually were very lucky because on the way here we could see that there was a family starting to build up one of the gears. So yeah, we pitched in and tried to help. So now we can see how they do it, how they build the frame, and then add the wooden beams connected to the circle at the top. And then you can see here they have the cover that they put then over the frame. So yeah, really cool, interesting, and great that we got to experience this of building a gear. Okay, lunch is now served by the side of the road here. We are stopping off by a stream and we've got some traditional Mongolian vegetable stir fry. It's usually not vegetarian, but they've made it a vegetarian version. So, and the wife of the nomad family this morning made the noodles herself. So yeah, beautiful spot for our lunch. So let's dig in.
Oh, it hurts to grow up, 'cause nothing makes sense anymore. Oh, it hurts to grow up, 'cause nothing makes sense. No, nothing makes sense anymore.
So we have now made it to our gear camp for the night, and it's kind of like a campsite, so we all have our own gear like this. Hello, neighbor. And yes, down there in the little shed there is a restaurant, public toilets and showers, and also we are currently in a place called Tsenkher, and where the Tsenkher natural hot springs are, and they've got a pool here, which is connected to the natural hot springs over there. So yeah, and here the landscape has completely changed from where we were an hour ago, and there's lots of trees and hills. It's really, really beautiful. And yes, I thought I would first show you around the gear for the night. Okay, so we're now inside the gear, and yeah, this one is quite fancy. We've got a bed here, we've got some drawers, a kind of closet thing to hang things up. We've got an electric socket, so we do have power. There is a radiator, but I don't think we will need that because it's quite warm. And we've got a lamp here in the ceiling, and yeah, that's kind of our home for this evening. And also this is the view from the room. So yeah, now I'm going to get changed and then head to the hot spring.
Maybe I could have seen it all coming, that I wouldn't grow wiser for each day. Am I the only one lost in translation, where nothing makes sense anymore?
We have now been into the hot springs, which was really nice and very relaxing, and very, very hot. And then we have had dinner at the restaurant, and yeah, it was kind of like a modern Mongolian dish. They'd made a kind of vegetarian thing, which was an egg in the middle with some mashed potato, and then kind of pan fried with beetroot salad and coleslaw. And yeah, it was really nice. And now we're just going for an evening walk up to the hot spring source, where they bring the pipes down to the hot spring pool by the gear camp. Oh, you really are! Wow. Eggs in the making. Now we made it up to the hot spring source, and yeah, we met a group of Korean tourists who have brought some eggs to boil to show, because here the source is like 90 degrees Celsius, so it's very hot. And I just wanted to share a little kind of reflection from these first 2 days in Mongolia. And both of these 2 days have really been about the journey. And I think that's what's been the most amazing thing, because often when you travel, the destination is like the main attraction, the main thing, and the thing that's most exciting and so on. However, I feel like in this trip, I mean, majority of the days we are spending in the car, but we are experiencing the most during this time. For example, like today, just stopping by the road, finding a family building their yurt and helping out, and yeah, finding new animals and different landscapes, and yeah, meeting up a nomad while having lunch by the road. So all of these things are part of the journey, and I think that's kind of a nice reflection in life as well. It's not about the end goal or end destination, it is the journey that counts, and we should enjoy the journey and make the best, or do the best of what we can with that journey. Thank you so much for coming along here in Mongolia. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Anymore. Teach me how to fall into the